Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. You see that channel right there? That's my other channel, Superior Dam Master. I make vlogs on that channel. Make sure you check that out. But today I'll be going through, there's rookies in the minor leagues, like Eloy Jimenez and Vlad, obviously. I'm very sorry. On my first channel, I haven't made a video in like probably over a year, and I'm very excited to set up this new channel about sports. And whoa, while we're on the topic about sports, here's a new rookie standout, Vlad Guerrero Jr. At the beginning of the year, pretty much everybody had him winning MLB Rookie of the Year. At the beginning of the year, everybody had him like in their predictions winning MLB Rookie of the Year. As I trip in my chair, this is gonna be tough. But he might have some competition, including some other rookie standouts that we're gonna go over. But Gurriel, he is probably gonna be on this list too, or he might not, or he might will. We will find out in this list of top 5 players who are most likely going to win MLB Rookie of the Year award. And make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I really like sports, so if you want to hear more sports content, comment down below and I might shout you out. I'm going to pick a random comment. And the first subscriber, if you subscribe to me as the first subscriber, I will write you down a piece of paper, and if I ended up getting millions of subscribers, then you will be in history. So make sure to be the first person to subscribe to this channel, as we are on to the countdown. It's not a countdown, you stupid. Oh, who's that, you ask? That is Griffin Cannon, and he's an honorable mention. He just missed the list, but I think he can still win MLB Rookie of the Year award. I'm legitimate serious. This is a very, very close race we have going on this year, but he obviously, the reason he's in this video and he's at least an honorable mention is because he was a top 50 prospect last year. He went from high A to AAA. He moved from 3 levels in 1 season. That is like very impressive. He had a very good ERA, in the 3.0s. He shook out a ton of people, and he moved through the farm system very quickly, and he looked to be very good, and he did good in AAA at the beginning of this season. So the Angels called him up, and he's pitched a lot of innings. He has 44 innings pitched, and he has a 3.65 ERA. Obviously, that's pretty solid for a rookie, even for a major league pitcher. A lot of people that are not rookies can't post that ERA, so that's very impressive. And I wouldn't really say he struck out a ton in his rookie year, but he's not done terrible. Maybe if he strikes out a little bit more, he could maybe push him forward some more. I think this pitcher, Griffin Canning, he could be the Angels' ace going forward. Maybe not the ace because they have Shohei Ohtani, but still, he's very good. If they didn't have Shohei Ohtani, he would probably be the ace. Angels should be excited about him, and if he keeps performing consistent and maybe some other batters and stuff that we have on this list drop off, he could win it. And I'm very confident. And the Angels also have a lot of other good pitchers in their farm system, so I think Angels fans should be excited. Okay, on to the real list now. At number 5, I have Yordan Alvarez, and it's a little risky putting him ahead of Griffin Canning and maybe even on the list, but I'm confident he can transfer his play from the minors to the majors. Now, first you have to understand how good he was in the minors. He wasn't historically good, but he was very good. He had only 3 seasons in the minors he played, and only one of those seasons he didn't hit 300. In that year he didn't hit 300 or higher, he hit 293. The other years he hit 304, and then at the beginning of this year in AAA he hit 343. Now he is very good. You obviously know he's been able to hit for average throughout his career. For 304 average first, then 293, then 343. Did I say 390? I mean 293. Sorry. And do you know what's crazy? In the first two-player draft in 2016, no team took him. He didn't get drafted, so he signed with a team he was an undrafted free agent with the team, but then they released him, and then the Astros signed him as an undrafted free agent. And the teams that passed on him are going to regret it. He was tearing it up in the minors, the opponents there are too easy for him, and he got called up to the majors at the beginning of this year. He's only played 3 games. The first 2 games he hit 333, but now he's 222 in 3 games, but he's still done very good. And he has 2 home runs in 3 games. That's good. He's a pretty good RBI count. Even though he's 21, that's pretty young. I'm confident he can transfer his play from the minors to the majors just in time to win Rookie of the Year. It's risky, I know, but if his bat transfers from the minors to the majors and he plays just how people hoped his bat will play, if he lives up to the hype in his bat, then he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. He was in the top 30 prospects at the beginning of this year, and I think he has a shot. And these next 4 players on the list are well-known players. A lot of you might not know Griffin Canning and Jordan Alvarez, but these players should be well-known for those of you that follow prospects. And the number 4, most likely to win MLB Rookie of the Year award, the player that is at number 4 is Eloy Jimenez. At the beginning of this year, he was the 3rd best prospect in baseball, and he signed a max contract over $40 million, or maybe even more than that. It was just a lot, around $50 million. He signed a huge millions of dollars contract. Sorry, probably over 40 million. Why am I exaggerating about this? Well, the White Sox are hoping that big paycheck will pay off, and the fans also will hope that the paycheck pays off. That's a lot for a rookie, over 40 million. Eloy Jimenez, a lot of people expected him to live up to the hype, and he kind of has. He's hitting 243. He's launched a lot of homers. Fun fact, in the last week, he's launched a homer over 260 feet and one just over 270 feet. Fun fact if you didn't know that. Well, if he raises his average a little and he keeps slugging it, he could win it. The reason I'm putting him at number 4 is that he started off kind of cold, but lately, this past week or something, he has heated it up. When I see all the sports channels talking about baseball, I always see highlights of Eloy Jimenez. And I think because he's heating it up in this past week or so, or 2 weeks, he's gonna heat it up some more. When the 3rd best prospect in baseball is hot, he's probably gonna continue that for a while. So if he raises his average, which he probably will because he's getting hot, that's one of the reasons I put it on here, and he stays hot and he launches a lot of homers, he's obviously capable of that. He's the 3rd best prospect in baseball. I already said that 3 times, but whatever. And he's getting hot, and he's done kind of well average for a rookie. I just expect all of this to play out, and he raises his average, and plus his stats aren't terrible right now. I just expect all the factors to play out for him to possibly win MLB Rookie of the Year. And these 3 players I had close deciding who was number 2, who was number 3, who was number 1, but the number 3 player is Fernando Tatis Jr. The last guy on the list, which was Eloy Jimenez, was the 3rd best prospect in baseball, and this guy is the 2nd best. We have him at the number 3rd most likely, and he is looking like a Hall of Famer or something right now. He has 34 games played, and he's hitting well over 300. Like, he's hitting, like, almost at 330. He is hitting, like, very, very, very well. He's hitting over 330 average. He's, like, well over 300. He obviously is the number 2 best prospect in baseball. He, in his first couple games, like 30-something games, 34 games. He looks amazing. He looks spectacular right now. And I expect him, like, if he keeps playing like this, which he's continued it for 30-something games, he is gonna win. And now that I'm saying all this, it might make some people in the comment section get mad that I didn't put him at number 1 or at least number 2, but he could have been at number 2, but still, I think this guy, if he keeps, like, heating it up and he's very talented, I just think he could win. I think, like, all these players on the list have a chance, but I think these top 3 guys are, like, the real battle for first place. And at number 2, which it's gonna be debatable, like, people are gonna get mad that I put this guy at number 2, but I have Pete Alonso at number 2. Fernando Tatis Jr. The last guy on the list, which was Eloy Jimenez, was the 3rd best prospect in baseball, and this guy is the 2nd best. We have him at the number 3rd most likely, and he is looking like a Hall of Famer or something right now. He has 34 games played, and he's hitting well over 300. Like, he's hitting, like, almost at 330. He is hitting, like, very, very, very well. He's hitting over 330 average. He's, like, well over 300. He obviously is the number 2 best prospect in baseball. He, in his first couple games, like 30-something games, 34 games. He looks amazing. He looks spectacular right now. And I expect him, like, if he keeps playing like this, which he's continued it for 30-something games, he is gonna win. And now that I'm saying all this, it might make some people in the comment section get mad that I didn't put him at number 1 or at least number 2, but he could have been at number 2, but still, I think this guy, if he keeps, like, heating it up and he's very talented, I just think he could win. I think, like, all these players on the list have a chance, but I think these top 3 guys are, like, the real battle for first place. And at number 2, which it's gonna be debatable, like, people are gonna get mad that I put this guy at number 2, but I have Pete Alonso at number 2. Actually, before we get on to number 1, I'd like to say I apologize. I was off from his home run count by 1 home run. I said he hit 23, but he actually hit 22, but you can't really be mad at me too much by missing off by 1 home run, which tomorrow he'll probably hit, like, or tonight he'll probably hit another one, so you could at least say it's 23. Well, 1 off isn't really that bad, so I'm sorry for getting that wrong. So 22 homers, not 23. Like I said before, you guys might be upset that I didn't put Fernando Tatis Jr. here, but I think Pete Alonso has a pretty good chance. He's hitting 258 right now. He's obviously played a lot, but I think he could get into the late 260s. But first thing you need to know about Pete Alonso. First thing you need to know, he is a slugger. He is a slugger. He might be, like, the biggest slugger. He probably is the biggest slugger in this rookie class this year in the MLB. maybe Christian Stewart is ahead of him, or maybe Vlad Gurriel is ahead of him, but I think this guy is probably the biggest slugger. He's hit like over 23 homers. He's probably, last time I checked, which was yesterday, he hit 23 homers, but he probably hit another one. That's how big of a slugger he is. And just because his home run rates, he could win MLB Rookie of the Year. And another thing, he is better than he is on paper. Now, on paper, he's hitting 258. He has a bunch of home runs and stuff. Like, it's pretty solid across the boards, but nothing superstar. But his stats already are pretty good. Even it's amazing for a rookie. And he is better than he is on paper. Like, he hits for extra base hits. He's an above average fielder. Even though his average says 258, I think he hits better. Like, constantly when I see him on TV, he's always hitting bangs. And this guy might be like the Mets first baseman of the future. Now, I know you guys are going to get mad that Fernando Tatis is not here. He's hitting 324 and he's hit 34 games and he's a better prospect. Well, this guy, he's leading in home runs and he's played way more games. And his average is still raising. And he's better than he is on paper. He's looking like a legitimate, like, Hall of Famer a little, but still, I know you guys are gonna get mad that I didn't put Fernando Tatis, but this guy's consistent. Solid stats all over the board, extra base hits, good fielding, amazing power, above average, above average, better than he is on paper. He could still improve. This all the facts add together that he's gonna win MLB Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be a serious contender to the obvious #1, who is this guy. Let's go. This guy, you are the MVP. Oh my gosh. He is obviously, like, look at him smoking. That's a joke. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. Seriously, don't smoke. Oh, look at him. He looks so young and fresh. Okay, enough corniness. Even though if he was playing, he'd be the obvious #1, but on to the real #1, which Pete Alonso is gonna contend to him majorly, and the #1 player for real this time, even though this guy is for real, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., which everybody had him. I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. Everybody had him winning, and he started off his first 10 games or so very, very, very cold, which is why his batting average right now doesn't really stand as people would like it to be, 249. But over the last, like, 20-something games, like the first 20 or 30-something games, or 15, like, the first part of the season for him was bad, terrible, but over the last 20-something games, he has been lighting it up, hitting home runs, which I've noticed in all of his, like, a lot of his home runs, he, like, pitches that are down in the zone, he can just turn them up and out of the park. Like, pitches that look like they're just going to be balls down, he can hit for home runs, which is a huge advantage as a hitter. I like that. But he has just been tearing it up. His average right now is around the 250s, 249, I think. Actually, I know it's 249. I checked. Stupid me. He was like the #1 player in the #1 prospect in all of baseball for like the longest amount of time. He has like been crushing it down in the minors for like real. Like he can just hit for like 400 average any day in the minors. It's easy for him. And even though he got off to a rough start in Toronto, he has turned on that Hall of Fame potential play that everybody wants to see from him. He has just been very good. He is second in the MLB in extra base hits since April 26. Okay, since April 26, he has the second most extra base hits in the MLB this year. And I think he's gonna turn on the Hall of Fame potential that people want to see out of him. And I think he might just beat Pete Alonso. And he's not just been hot for like 5 games. He's been hot for a while, which is why I think he'll keep turning it up and win Rookie of the Year. He has been very consistent. I think he's an average fielder, and he, I think, is gonna win MLB Rookie of the Year. Comment down below who you think will win Rookie of the Year. I'll show you my prediction. I will show you mine, and it is, let me just show you in a sec.
And then I was like, hey, we have to do this.